Councillors, let's start our meeting. Councillors, I hope you are all back and we are all connected. There are no technical issues. I can hear that councillors who are talking. Please mute your mics. We are now resuming our meeting. Yes, councillors, thank you very much. We are back now from the lunch. We now continue with our meeting. We are going to deal with the items contained in the supplementary agenda. I will request His Worship the Mayor to table the executive report. His Worship.
Honorable Speaker, I thought there were items in the main agenda which were still remaining there. I don't know whether, am I correct? Immediately we dealt with those issues. There is a circular that you needed to deal with, or it will be taken at last. As well as Local Government Municipal Systems Amendment Act, yes. Is that going to come at last?
We dealt with those items, Bob Mayor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me present the second report of the Executive Committee to your House.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bob Mayor. I will then request the City Manager to present the items. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The first report is the report of the Governance and Human Resources Committee from their meeting which was held on the 20th of the 9th, 2022. Item 1.1, consultation process for the implementation of shift system developed by the Organizational Development and Change Management Unit. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, City Manager. Councillor Mandlala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a roadmap detailing how we are going to handle these matters going forward. The shift system, as we know, is one of the methods of organizing work to ensure efficiency, to ensure productivity, and to an extent limit excessive overtime. Now, there has been many departments that have asked ODCM to facilitate the process of the shift system for them, but some have had their shift system package and they are gathering dust somewhere. So this process is like a roadmap detailing how the process is going to be undertaken, how consultation is going to be done with all relevant stakeholders, and how implementation is then going to take place. So that when there's a department that is in need of a shift system, has that made for them, but fails to implement, we can then track and trace where the failures were and who did not, at what point and what were the challenges in implementing the project. And therefore, this is a welcome intervention, and we urge parties to support this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mandlala. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed, Samlo.
Thank you, City Manager.
Item 1.2, request for approval to implement district HIV AIDS program. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, City Manager. Councillor Chazela and Councillor Madlala. Councillor Chazela, please raise your hand so that we unmute you. Cousin Chazela. Chazela, please. Please raise your hand so that you'll be assisted.
Her hand was up, Somlo.
No, it's not up. Councillor Chazela, please raise your hands so that we unmute you. Or you can speak if you are unmuted. I'm checking up in. Yeah, Councillor Chazela, unfortunately we have to proceed because we are not getting an indication or a response from you by showing your hand so that we unmute you, or if you are unmuted, you then speak.
Honourable Speaker, you may take the other councillor while we're trying to locate her.
Councillor Madlala.
Siyabonga kakhulu Somlomo ohloniphekileyo. Sifuna ukuthatha leli thuba sibonge kakhulu ukubona bonke ababambe iqhaza ekutheni le report ifike la kumkhandlu wethu. Sicabanga ukuthi udaba le HIV and AIDS udaba olubaluleke kakhulu esizweni sakithi ngenxa yokuthi siyazi ukuthi abantu bakithi bake babhuqeka basho kuphela impela kwasala imizi igadwe izingane abantu bebhuqwa igciwane le HIV ne AIDS. Kuze kwayisikhathi la khona uhulumeni wethu ama civil society organizations kanjalo nemiphakathi bengenelela khona ukuthi akuprovide akulethwe imishanguzo evimba ukuthi angathi ngoba naku ususulelekile ngaleli gciwane bese kusho ukuthi usugwetshwe isigwebo sentambo. Nakuba kunjalo ke ibonakala isebenza kakhulu lemishanguzo ngenxa yokuthi izwe la South Africa selinye lamazwe ahamba phambili emhlabeni ngokusuleleka kanjalo ngeningi labantu abanalolu bhubhane. Kodwa futhi singa uhulumeni wethu emhlabeni omunye ohulumeni abahamba phambili ekuletheni imishanguzo eyenza ukuthi abantu bakwazi ukuthi baphile isikhathi eside baphile futhi impilo ekwazi ukuthi zibe nenzuzo kubona nasemindenini yabo. Kodwa liyaqhubeka izinga lokusuleleka kabusha kwabantu. Ngakho ke ubaluleke kakhulu lo mkhankaso ofuna ukukhuluma nabesifazana abasebancane, ofuna ukukhuluma nemiphakathi la kuzokwaqhwa khona ama-ward nama-zonal councils azokhuluma ngalolu daba. Kuzohlanganiswa nje imiphakathi eyahlukahlukene ngeyinhlaka ezahlukahlukene kwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi siyakhuluma ngalolu daba, kodwa futhi asigcine lapho siyakhuluma nangalezi ezinye izifo ezigcina seyithinteka malana nalo, ikakhulukazi isifo se-TB ekubonakala siqeda kakhulu abantu abasuleleke ngaleli gciwane, kanjalo nezinye izifo eziye zibe zinyuka ngembilapho ngenxa yokuba khona kwalentsholongwane. Ngakho ke siyamukela lolu hlelo, silijabulela kakhulu futhi siyacela ukuthi imiphakathi yaseThekwini ibambisane namakhansela, ibambisane nomkhandlu weTheku ukwenza isiqiniseko ukuthi lolu hlelo luba impumelelo. Wonke abantu, akekho umuntu ohlele ekhoneni ongazange atheste azazi isimo sakhe ukuthi sinjani. Akekho futhi umuntu osethestile ozoqala i-treatment abese efike ayishiye phakathi nendawo. Futhi labo abadla imishanguzo bayakwazi ukuthi bathole lonke uhlobo ley'nsiza ey'dingakalayo, ukwesekwa imindeni yabo, ukwesekwa imiphakathi abahlala kuyona, kanjalo nokwesekwa uhulumeni, inhlaka kahulumeni, kanjalo ney'nhlaka eziy'mele njengamasonto ney'nhlangano nje ey'khona emphakathini. Selijabulela kakhulu lolu hlelo and siyakhombisa ngalo ukuthi asifuni ukuthi senze lento yokuthi sikhumbule into yalelu daba nge-World AIDS Day, kodwa sifuna ukuthi kube iculo esilicula mihla yonke le ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi bonke abantu bakithi bayasizakala. Sibonge futhi ne-leadership kaBabume njengo-champion la kumasipala wakithi nekomiti lakhe. Sisithi abaqhubekele phambili singamakhansela omkhandlu weTheku sisonkana. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ngibakhulumele noma bengangimandithanga abanye ukuthi siyaleseka lolu hlelo siyafisa ukuthi uqhubekele phambili. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Councillor Chazela, are you now connected? If not, I'm sure you will allow us to proceed so that we save time for council. Is already late.
Can I talk on her behalf? I've got her speech here.
No. It can only speak for herself. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Great.
Thank you very much. The hand from Councillor Nobalo, Tim Zondi. Or is it a mistake? Okay, let's proceed, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Item 1.3, naming of streets in Ward 49 covering Phoenix. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much. We are page 8, 1.3. Councillor Mkhono, Councillor J. Naito, and Councillor Ushaba. Councillor Mkhono, please raise your hand. Ukuze sikubone ngapha sivule microphone ubusuvula eyakho the side ubusuyakhuluma. Tim Mkhono.
Her hand is up, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, they're trying to sort it. Please, Kono, raise your hand till you are sure that you are unmuted. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you are now unmuted. You can address council. Councillor Mkhono. So right ngapha ngikuphinde ngicela uyivule microphone ngapha kwena.
Speaker.
Listening.
Thank you. It's a good program, and as the IFP, we support such programs, but there must be monitoring systems in place and close supervision. There must be no exploitation of learners within the program. The learners must receive reasonable stipend on time and every single month without a failure to avoid dropouts. And all graduates from the program must be placed the municipality must secure permanent position within the relevant departments for all graduates of the program. I thank you.
Councillor Mkono, I'm looking at the, you were supposed to speak on page 8, item number 1.3, but it looked like you are speaking on a different item. But your name here has been submitted to speak on item
I'm speaking
1.3,
on
page 8.
I'm speaking on item 1.4.
No. We are still in 1.3 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Councillor Chainaido.
No, both of them, they are on 1.4.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Rushaba. No response? Councillor Rushaba? Councillors, page 8, 1.3 item. Is the recommendation agreed?
Shaba,
Agreed.
hand up.
Thank you.
Agreed, Speaker.
Thank you. City Manager.
Item number 1.4, request for authority to extend the agreement with the National Treasury to participate in the graduate internship program via the Infrastructure Skills Development Grant and to enter into a service level agreement with Umgeni Water. Committee recommends.
Thank you. Councillor Mkono. Councillor Chainaido. Councillor Madlala.
Hi, Speaker.
Speaker,
Mkono, we are the first. Naido, we are the second. And then Councillor Madlala, the last.
it's a good program, and as the IFP, we support such programs, but there must be monitoring systems in place, a close supervision, no exploitation of learners within the program. The learners must receive reasonable stipend, and they must receive it on time and every month without a failure to avoid dropouts. And all graduates from the program must be placed. The municipality must secure permanent position within relevant departments for graduates from the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkono. Councillor Chainaido. Councillor Naidu.
Speaker,
Yes.
Speaker,
Yes.
I think Councillor Nadu is covered. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Madlala.
Siyabonga kakhulu speak umuntu akathathe leli thuba abonge ekomidini la governance inkulumo yayinhle kakhulu from wonke ama parties ayebukeka efuna ukwakha ebuza imibuzo ngendlela eyakhayo futhi efuna ukuthi lolu hlelo lube nenqubekela phambili. Selijabulela kakhulu lolu hlelo babo speaker ngoba siyazi ukuthi history yethu ithi sivela esikhathini lapho khona abantu bakithi
Point of clarity, Speaker. Speaker, sorry, point of clarity, please.
There's someone speaking. Who's that?
Yes, Speaker, Councillor Mkiza from the DA.
Yes, Councillor Mkize.
Yes, the clarity, Speaker, is to check if do we still have a translation. Please, if all colleagues can be able to understand while the meeting is still going.
Do we still have a translation?
Translation, please, yes.
Unfortunately, Mkize, I'm not sure because when we are visual, I don't remember such arrangements being made. They are normally made when we are on a physical meeting where we have translators. But in this meeting, I don't remember such arrangement being made unless I have to be corrected. But from where I'm sitting, we don't have translators when we are in visual platform. Thank you. Madlala.
Awungiyabonga kakhulu speaker ohloniphekileyo. Bengithi ke lolu hlelo lubaluleke kakhulu ngoba luvala igebe phakathi kwabantu bakithi laba abekade bencishwe amathuba ezemfundo, kanjalo bethi noma sebefundile bese uthola ukuthi kunzima ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi babhalise amagama abo kule mizimba yezama professional. Othola ukuthi ezinye zeindlela zokuvimba ukuthi abantu bakithi bangakwazi ukungena lapha ya baye babeke imigoqo nemigoqwana enzima kakhulu, kube yemali kanjalo nezinye izinto abazi ukuthi abantu bakithi abaqhamuka endaweni ezifana nalezi siqhamuka kuzo bazohluleka kumelana nayo. Ngakho ke uma uhulumeni esondela efuna ukulekelela ukuthi ingane yomama osebenza ekitchen ekwazi ukuthi ayifundise ngaleyo mali, iyakwazi uma seyitholile iqualification ikwazi ukulekelela ukuthi ikwazi ukuyijoyina lemizimba ezokwenza ukuthi ikwazi ukuthi nayo ibe ngokusemthethweni umuntu okwazi ukwenza umsebenzi. Siyakwamukela kakhulu lokho. Uzobona ukuthi ke okunye kwezinto lapha yani imali ibukeka sengathi ithe kuba inkudlwana bese ubona inamba yabantu, isibalo sabantu ababamba iqhaza ngathi sincane. Lokho kwenziwa ukuthi imali ihlukaniswe igatshana lapha ya. Kunemali yensipho lokuthi stipend phecelezi abanikezwa yona engeyimbineze yenza ukuthi bakwazi ukwenza izinto. Uyabona nje ekomidini sathe mesixoxa sathola ukuthi khona ingane eyakhayo kubo ngoba bakaze bangaba nayo indlu, iyakha kubo ikwazi ukuthi ihlephulela ebalini stipend iyakhe umuzi kubo. Okuyinto enhle kakhulu ke leyo ngoba kusho ukuthi lo muntu uzosuka elistini yabantu abalindi ukuthi bakhele umasipala izindlu. Siyakujabulela kakhulu. Also khona imali ukuthi bakwazi bathenga amathuluzi, khona imali yokuthi kukhokhelwe labantu abazokwazi ukuthi ambambe isandla laba kuthiwa ama-mentees, kanjalo nokunjalo. Siyajabulela kakhulu lolu hlelo. Siyafisa ukuthi namanye amaqembu akhona la kulomkhandlu basilekelele ukuthi siliqhubezele phambili lolu hlelo, iqhubeke intuthuko iye kubantu bakithi ikakhulukazi laba abadla imbuya ngokuthi. Siyabonga.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Councillors, page 8, 1.4. Is the recommendation agreed?
Great.
Thank you very much. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Speaker. We are now on to the report of the Finance, Security and Emergency Services Committee from their meeting of the 21st of the 9th, 2022. Item 2.1. 1.5. Sorry, Speaker. Oh, sorry. I left 1.5 by mistake. It's item 1.5, Diversity and Inclusion Day, 2022 webinar. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much. On 1.5, councillors, is the recommendation on 1.5 agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed, thank you.
Noted.
City Manager is noted. Thank you for noting. Thank you. City Manager.
Yes, we are back to 2.1 on the report of the Finance, Security and Emergency Services Committee. 2.1 is the progress report on minimum competency levels for July and August 2022. Committee recommends.
To 2.1. Okay, thank you very much, councillors. I was trying to verify here whether we have speakers on 2.1. I can say that there are no speakers. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Sorry, Speaker.
Yes.
Agreed.
Speaker,
Yes.
may you please request the technical team to unmute Councillor Mthethwa?
Councillor Mthethwa is muted.
Yes,
Okay,
is unable to speak.
Thank you. City Manager?
Thank you very much, Speaker. We are now on to item number 2.2, implementation of the fourth general valuation role in terms of the Municipal Property Rates Act number 6 of 2004. Committee recommends.
2.2, councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you, Mr. Mpele.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Item 2.3, investment report for the month ended 31st of August 2022. Committee recommends.
2.3, councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Noted.
Agreed.
Noted, thank you.
Noted.
City Manager?
Item 2.4, Epwp Municipality's monthly public tender award for the 31st of August 2022. Committee recommends.
2.4, councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Noted.
It's for noting, sorry. It's
Noted.
noted, thank you. City Manager?
Item 2.5, budget statement report for the month ended 31st of August 2022. Committee recommends.
2.5, Councillor McPherson.
Noted.
Councillor
Noted.
McPherson, Councillor Ben, His Worship the Mayor. McPherson?
Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. Let's talk about money, which is part and parcel of the lifeblood of the city. What I was trying to allude to in my earlier discussion was if we, and I make now direct reference to the uncollected debt of over 20 billion and rising each month. What the Democratic Alliance strong view in every single meeting since the previous Deputy Mayor took an interest when she chaired the Finance Committee meeting, took an interest in trying to manage the spiraling uncollected debt. And let me say why there's relevance in collecting even partial quantums of the uncollected debt is that it will make money immediately available to put in the urgent repairs that need to happen in our critical infrastructure, which is now well known throughout South Africa that eThekwini is suffering from a crisis of collapse in critical infrastructure. But for example, some of the earlier questions was around street lighting and whether the ratepayer, and I make direct reference here, the ratepayer and utility payer cross-subsidize free services. And the answer, in a roundabout way, what the Deputy Mayor was saying, the council pays for all consumables, whether that's electricity or water, that is bought and then dispensed. What he really meant was, yes, the ratepayer funds the city, so the ratepayer is cross-subsidizing it. And this is our plea. This is where the Democratic Alliance steps up to the plate. And so you can't have a situation where in the uncollected debt balance sheet, you have government, provincial government, national government, and state-owned entities and parastatals that do not pay for their rates and utilities. And they also participate in the cross-subsidization, that they participate in making money available for our urgent infrastructural repairs, which will then allow free electricity and free water to all, to the poor, to the vulnerable. That is our wish. And that's why when we talk passionately about this, as we're doing right now, there is and would be enough money made available if there was the political will to collect some quantum of the 20 billion. We've got raw sewage now, well known also throughout South Africa, in our rivers and in our oceans. We are unable to rehabilitate and upgrade our infrastructure at the speed that's needed to happen. Street lights that have broken for years. I think that there's probably more street lights not working than there are working now. Making more money available for urgent overtime, to repair sewage leaks, water leaks, electricity outages. And so when we talk the way that we do, when we have this discussion in our finance committee, we always call on the other smaller parties to vote with us as a Democratic Alliance for the following reason, Speaker. There has to be accountability. You can't each month allow the debt to grow to 21 billion and then 21.5 billion without accountability. That's what the Democratic Alliance is wanting here. Accountability. Who ultimately is gonna take the responsibility in either collecting it or being held accountable for it? And what I was trying to say when I ended off in my last conversation was, no matter who or what, as the Democratic Alliance, we are not going to stop talking about this because it's the right thing to correct the service delivery. It's the right thing to bring the city back on track. It's the right thing. And I've always said, eThekwini is still one of the most wonderful cities in the world to live, not just in South Africa. But we can make it better. We can achieve the dream of 2030, the most livable city for all. We can do it, but not unless there is a change in mind and a change in accountability and a change in political will in collecting the uncollected debt, the collectible uncollected debt. I'll leave it at that this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Penn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are audible.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. The budget statement report is a positive treasure trove of things to talk about, but I'm going to limit myself today to just one issue, and that is the underspending on repairs and maintenance. It's a recurring topic. In the August budget statement report, the yardstick mentioned, which is actual repairs and maintenance divided by property, PPE, property, equipment and investment properties. The yardstick determined by National Treasury is 8%. In August, we were at 5.15%, which is a vast under expenditure. Let's look at the end of the previous financial year, at the end of June 2022. The percentage got to 6.43%. Now that's a shortfall of just less than 20% of the target. Now we all know that the damage to our infrastructure during the floods in April was substantially because of the lack of maintenance on the infrastructure. So is that an incident which, or a trend which just developed last year? No, it didn't, because if we look at the yardstick for June 2021, the percentage in that financial year was 5.93%, which is a shortfall of over 25% under expenditure on maintenance. And we're paying the costs and we're repeating the problem. So our urge from the DA's point of view is that the line departments somehow get geared up and taught how to actually spend their maintenance budget so that they can get ahead of the game and make sure that we fix our infrastructure and maintain it before it breaks down. I'll leave the other issues from the budget statement reports through future meetings. But I just wanted to stress the calamity we suffered, or the worsened calamity because of underspending on repairs and maintenance. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Penn. His Worship, the Mayor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. for the opportunity to debate on this very important subject of our municipality when we talk about our budgets. Firstly, we would like to indicate that the report which I received for the 28th September 2022 in terms of our cash standing is that we've got cash on hand of the total amount of 1.375 billion, the deposits that is there, and the fixed deposit of 5.6 billion rands. But the cash on hand in terms of the days, we are sitting at 62 days. We also, that includes the grants that we receive, as well as 55 days if you exclude the grants. So that talks about the financial standing of the municipality, which shows that we can still continue to service our obligations as a city. Unlike other cities where people, they always talk about good governance, but in Sweden today they don't have money to pay their employees, but I'm not there. Let me also proceed, Chair, to say what constitutes the major contribution in terms of those who owe us in terms of debts. The 20 billion we are talking about, the major money that we expect from the departments is composed of rates in particular. And most of the department, they opt to make annual payments. We normally expect those annual payments between October and November. So we are anticipating that most of the departments like Public Works and others will be paying us between October and November. But we have also issued notices, 7 days notices to departments and public entities, those who owe us. I can also give a feedback, Honorable Speaker, that the Department of Education in Pantown districts, they were owing us around 3.5 million. So since we switched them off, they were able to pay us 3.5 million. So we are also debating with others who have raised concerns about our billing, like Transnet. Once we conclude that, we expect them to pay us as soon as possible. There are many other departments that we have conducted our own practice of reminding them of their debt by giving them 7 days. That on its own will boost our operation and campaign to collect our debts. Let me also emphasize that Department of Education, we've been owed by Section 21 schools, where most of the councillors, they came to us and say we mustn't shut down the schools because schools, learners have got the right. We acknowledge that, we all agree, but when it comes to the payment for services and what we are being owed, we even shut down those schools that we requested them to come forward and say, if you owe us so much, come forward and make an arrangement on how we are going to settle your bill. It's not about removing the right of learners to learn, but we want those who are managing those schools, because Department of Education have alluded to the fact that these schools are given budgets to service their debts. So therefore, it's not the department at a provincial level or at a second level. It is themselves as Section 21 schools. So once they don't pay us, councillors don't become the first one to come and say we must open and reinstate the services to those schools. It is the management of those schools, principals in particular, and their CFOs who must come and tell us how do they intend to pay us as a city. So we are not going to be tolerating the non-payment. We'll continue to put this operation in motion to ensure that we collect as much as we can. So there's a kind of practice that we are implementing, but we understand that they are essential services. Those essential services, people must also take responsibility. We'll go further when people are not paying us, but we are happy that the Department of Health, really, they are assisting their hospitals. Otherwise, we have also shut down the hospitals because there's no boundary. When you owe us, and if you don't pay us, we've got to take action. So we are looking forward in improving on our collections as we continue with our operations, Honorable Speaker. I must also indicate that we have received some amounts from national government as there were commitments, but it is not yet there in terms of adequacy. But 184 million have been received. But we still anticipate that when the adjustments are done in October, the minister will still consider us as a flood victims in the country. So we hope that more money will also be distributed to deal with infrastructure and other damaged assets of the municipality to retain to normalcy in terms of our well-being and community, as well as the health of the city and the economy of the city. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Bob Mayor. Councillors, page 9, 1.5, the item is the recommendation agreed.
Agreed.
Noted.
It's for noting, yes, it's for noting, it's noted. Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Speaker. We are now on to the direct EXCO reports on page 14, item 3.1, proposed granting of rights to use, control, or manage existing leases on Even number 11414, 11415, 11416, situated on a portion of the remainder of F1, Durban, proposed FA, and the existing lease F11418 and F11419, situated on a portion of a remainder of F1, Durban, proposed FB, by way of a long-term lease. Committee recommends.
Thank you. Sorry, apologies. Thank you, City Manager. 3.1, councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
I'm speaking,
Sorry, Speaker. Agreed. Agreed.
Okay. 3.1, page 14.
Yes.
Yes. Apologies, councillors. 3.1, page 14. I've got Councillor Nkosi, I've got Councillor Charmaine, and Councillor Spisi. And last in my list is Councillor Madlala. In that order, councillors, Babu Nkosi, you are the first.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, colleagues. This is one of the item, colleagues, that we need to treat it very carefully. We are saying that as IFP because we don't want to see another Hilton in our hotels whereby there are a lot of jobs that have been lost. I like what has been said in the heading of talking about managing. So that will mean at least there will be no job if same people who are running these leases or these properties are going to continue, at least they are there. But I was confused by 3.1.3.4 because to me this looked like we have another person that we know, not unless if in our discussions we were meaning that the same people who are running or who have a lease with us are the ones that are comfortable with the paragraph. If it is a case, we will behave as IFP because, as we said, it's not easy to start a fresh marketing a hotel or whatsoever, and you know that Durban. When you talk about Durban, people wanted to visit these hotels next to the beach. But at the moment, we will abstain until we are satisfied that there are no shenanigans behind this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much, Babu Nkosi. Councillor Charmaine.
Chair,
Yes.
the last I checked, Councillor Susanga had some difficulties. I'm not sure if she's back in the meeting.
Okay, thank you for advising us. Let me double check whether
Sorry, Speaker.
Councillor Shamin?
Yes, sorry, I had a connectivity problem, but I seem to be sorted out now. Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can proceed. Thank you.
Give me a second, Speaker. I'm just settling down a little bit. Sorry, I've had no electricity today. Okay, Speaker.
Councillor Shamin?
Hi, Speaker, I'm here.
But
Can you hear me?
You are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. We as a city should be protecting the Golden Mile, the ICC, the income generated from visitors into hotels, restaurants, and tourism. Most of all, livelihoods. This should be the priority of the city, rather than allowing the Maharani and the Ilangeni going out to tender. The hotels work as a combination. One can stay at the Maharani and eat breakfast at the Ilangeni, and vice versa. With a 744-bed capacity, they are the only hotels that can accommodate 800 delegates to the ICC. The first thing we should be doing is to protect the hospitality industry and the employment it is generating. Negotiate with the current tenant and allow them the first right of refusal. That would be fair and the right thing to do. In some instances, it is better to work with your current tenant and build on the existing infrastructure to ensure that the hotel and hospitality is improved in line with the city's vision. This cannot be achieved by going out to tender. Has the city engaged with the current tenant across the table, as it does with other entities like Toyota, for example? If we lose the Ilangeni and Maharani, we have another drama in our hands in the form of job loss and unemployment. We have already lost the Hilton Hotel as an accommodation provider to the ICC. If we lose Ilangeni and Maharani and the Southern Sun Group, or the Southern Sun Group will strip everything. The names Ilangeni and Maharani belong to them. Those being iconic names in Durban or eThekwini. They will take it because they own the names. They will take the assets, the furniture, and the fittings in the hotels because that too belongs to them. The proposal in 3.1.3.4 that the subject property provide a capital investment of 250 million rand upwards, and the incentive offered is 1.22 million rand write-off as a 3-year rental holiday. Are we expecting the future tenant to invest 250 million rand? We must consider the structure that allows the property owners to make investments, but the minimum lease period must be 50 years. Rather than the basic monthly rental of 3.4 million, the right thing to do would be to link the number of beds sold. The hotels combined have approximately 744 beds. If the facility could run at 80% capacity, the city would generate much more than 3.4 million rands rental a month. In reference to the renewable lease every 5 years, nobody is going to buy that. It must be a 50-year lease, bottom line, with no conditions attached. Now let's get back to what I was saying earlier. If the Southern Sun Group strips the furniture and fittings, the new investor needs to come up with at least 500 million rands as an initial investment. Who is going to do that, considering the beachfront is blighted with raw sewage running into our oceans? Fact has blocked up our drains, pushing sewage into prime property, restaurants, business and tourist attractions along the beachfront. Which other investor has that kind of money, who is equipped with the expertise and who has a working relationship with the city like the Southern Sun Group that we know of that will work well with the ICC? Ilangeni and Maharani have a fantastic working relationship with the ICC. If the current tenant has to lose this lease, do they plan to retain investment in the city, or do they pack up their bags and never come back? If we lose Southern Sun, we lose one of the most iconic hotel groups in Durban. I don't think that we can afford that as a city. There is nothing on this report that says this is a well thought through process in the best interest of the Golden Mile, the ICC, the property owners, businesses, and most of all, tourism, which is an investment. We as the Democratic Alliance are not going to even abstain. We vote against this item. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Shamin. Councillor Spisi. Councillor Spisi. Yeah. Sungakhuluma, Councillor Spisi. Councillor Spisi.
Speaker, can you hear me?
Yes. Spisi. We are listening, Councillor Spisi, but we are not talking. We can confirm that we can hear you.
Hi, Speaker. It's Councillor Mkhize on behalf of Smith. He is currently experiencing a connection problem, but he has indicated that he is covered by the previous speaker.
Thank you, Kabazela, for intervening. Councillor Madala.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu mhlonishwa speaker. Njenge ANC siyayisupporta le item. Mhlambe kuzobaleka ukuthi sithi kube kumlando nje kancane. Ukuthi kuyiqiniso impela futhi siyavumelana namaqembu aphikisayo ukuthi iElangeni neMaharani kwezinye zezinda zamahhotela abaluleke kakhulu emlandweni ekubukekeni kanjalo nase kwezokuvakasha ezebhizinisi na kwezokungcebeleka eThekwini. Besingajabula kakhulu nathi ukuthi ukube besinawo amandla senza ngendlela abasho ngayo. Kodwa ngeke kwazi ukwenzeka lokhu ngenxa yalezi izathu. Ukuthi ngenxa yokuthi thina singumasipala siphatha izimali zomphakathi. Kufanele mesiphethe lezi imali zomphakathi senze isiqiniseko sokuthi izinto esizenzayo zivulelekile, ziyabonakala zikhanya ngale, futhi uma senza noma ngabe isiphi isinqumo sezebhizinisi, isinqumo leso esenza ukuthi umkhokhi wentela waseThekwini athole okukhulu kunako konke abengase akuthole. Yingakho ke kubalekile ukuthi senze lokho. Okwesithathu ukuthi thina njenge uhulumeni basekhaya nohulumeni nje uwonkana savuma lo mthetho ekuthiwa i-Municipal Finance Management Act ekuyiwona olawulayo ukuthi inqumo ezifana nalezi esibhekene nazo kumele ukuthi zithathwe kanjani. Ngakho ke asikwazi ukuphuma eceleni ngoba amaqembu aphikisayo iwona imvamisa avama ukuthi asithele isihlwebhu la kulomkhandlu uma ngabe kukhona inkontreka, ikakhulukazi la khona uthola ukuthi ivumelano zokuqashiselana.
Point of order, Speaker.
There's a point of order.
Speaker, I do apologize to you and Councillor Madala, but I am told that there's no translation. I do think that compromises and disadvantages other colleagues who cannot understand what is being said here. And also I must bring to your attention that it is not true that when we have visual meetings, we don't entertain the issue of translation. I'm sure your team can attend to that. I apologize, Hlohlo.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mthethwa. The issue of the translation already has been raised and I've responded to that. Therefore, we will allow Councillor Madlala to speak whatever language that he feels comfortable to address council with. As the Speaker of Council, I can't force councillors to speak on a particular language. Councillor Madlala, proceed.
Speaker, I was not in any way saying Councillor Madlala must change the language he's using. I'm saying it is not true that when we have virtual meetings, we don't entertain the issue of translation. That is not for Madada, it is for your team to address it.
Okay, thank you. That's why in my response I said I'm not aware of any arrangement made, but if there are any, we should have that service. But currently it seems if we don't have that service. But thanks for bringing that to our attention. Councillor Madlala.
Thank you. Ngibonge kakhulu somlomo ohloniphekileyo. Bengisathi ke besingafisa kakhulu nathi kube kuya ngokwethu ukuthi sivele abafowethu laba baka Southern Sun sibanikeze nje ukuthi haya baqhubeke ngoba besisaphathene kahle nabo bekusemnandi. Kodwa leyo nto leyo iyona impela levama usiqhatha namaqembu aphikisayo agcine sethi kusho ukuthi khona ivumelwano esinazo nabantu abathize ngenxa yokuthi inkontreka zabo ibukeka sengathi izingona phakade. Ngakho-ke ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi asigcini sinalezo inkontreka ekuthiwa zilihlaza njalo phecelezi evergreen, silandele umthetho njengokulandisa kwe-MFMA ukuthi kuyofanele ngesikhathi esithize uku-expire kwenkontreka ibuyele emshinini ikwazi ukuthi kuyohlolwa imakethe ukuthi akekho umuntu othi nawe uyazizwa ukuthi angangena awenze lo msebenzi. Okwesibili ukuthi thina la njengalomkhandlu sibe nento esiyishilo samakhansela ukuthi asinkamkami kahle ekudayisweni kwemihlaba kamasipala ngenxa ukuthi umhlaba uyifa langona phakade lezizukulwane ngezizukulwane. Ingakho nje siqashisa ukube kuya ngokuthanda kwethu ngabe mhlambe sibanikeza nje indawo ukuthi abasale sebethatha kube ingona phakade, kepha sinezinto nathi kufanele sidlule kuzona ekuyizinto ezifana nokuthi kufanele sesiqinisa usiyavula ukuthi nabanye abantu babamba iqhaza emnothweni kwazi ukuthi kwenzeke zonke izinto. Now, Honorable Speaker, the issue at hand here is that we are very much aware of the role, the stature, and the importance of Elangeni Maharani to the city. One, in terms of the rate base, two, in terms of tourism, three, in terms of the city being an eventing capital and conferencing capital, because after the closure of the after the closure of the Hilton Hotel, we then have the Elangeni Maharani as the anchor hotels that will link to our ICC. Being aware of all of that, but we are still bound by the principles contained in the MFMA, that of openness, of transparency, and that of getting the best value for the right pair. And therefore, we are compelled gingerly to accept that we need to take this matter up and test the market on it so that we get the best value. We will pray together with the opposition and other concerned citizens that the partner that we were happy with is the one that is able to meet this. But we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot if we were to follow the route that is being proposed. Secondly, on the report, there's the issue of job creation, which has never been a condition before. There's an issue of localization of those job opportunities, which has never been an issue before, which is going to make Durban a unique and a very sellable proposition, because if you go to other cities, you'll find that from the cab driver to the hotel frontline staff to your everyone, as you get serviced by people from other countries, and you begin to ask yourself, what happened to the local population? What happened to the people that are doing studies in universities in those cities? And therefore, this localization clause, we think, speaks directly to some of the issues that the opposition and all the other councillors were raising. Also, we had engagements with the Durban Chamber, because we have the chamber here which looks at the interest of all the businesses in the city, and we've spoken to them, and I think they are fully aware of our obligation to follow the prescripts of the MFMA. I want to end on the note where we, in line with our principles of encouraging development and expansion, we're proposing that we suspend the rent that we are proposing here for 3 years, to allow the service provider or to allow the entity to rejuvenate itself, so that when it becomes the hotel that becomes attractive, which is good for our city, good for our tourism, and good for everyone. So as the ANC, we support this report, and we hope and pray that everything is going to turn out the way we anticipate, that the best bidder is going to come out and be best for the city and the citizens of our city. Thank you, Honorable Speaker Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed? No, Chair.
No.
Let me have
Abstain.
the screen, please. Right. Let's check those who are in support, those who are against, and those who abstain. ANC?
In support.
Thank you. DA?
Against.
EFF?
Against.
Support.
Support.
Can I have one response, please? Whip of the party must respond, not everyone must speak.
We are in support, Speaker.
Thank you. IFP?
We abstain, Speaker.
Action SA?
Abstain.
APC?
APC support, but I see here
ACC?
only one APC speaker. I don't know why.
ACC, thank you. ACC? ACTP? AIC? DLC?
Mr. Speaker, the DLC supports because 3.4 million rand a month is better than 1,225 rand. Thank you.
Adek?
Speaker, we support the proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. APF? ATM?
ATM support, Speaker.
Al-Jama? Thank you. Al-Jama? JEP?
JEP support.
KZNI?
KZNI, we support.
MF?
Support.
Musa?
Support.
NFP?
NFP support.
PFP? PRM?
Speaker, EPRM yona iyayeseka.
Siyabonga. TA? TA? UIM?
UIM support.
Freedom Front Plus?
Against, Speaker.
Thank you.
Speaker, the ACDP abstains.
ACTP abstains. AAC? Al-Jama support. Is IP voted? APC have voted. ACC.
Speaker, ACC supports. Sorry, connectivity is not well.
ACC support.
Speaker, Al-Jama supports.
Al-Jama support. Yeah. AIC, it looks like they have not collected from the beginning of the meeting. Everyone,
Somlom, I have my hand up.
your hand is up. Who's that?
Mavundla.
Deputy Mayor?
Somlomo, I'm very much confused here. Are those who are not supporting saying we must carry on receiving only 15,000 a year? Is that what they are saying?
No. Deputy Mayor, we're voting now.
Point
We're
of
not
order, point
debating.
of order, wherever my phone.
We're not debating. PFP? Yeah, colleagues, add the numbers. Now, everyone now has voted. Thank you.
Who's not saying out some law?
Yeah, thank you very much, councillors. Those who are in support, 119, 119. Those who are against, 57. Those who abstain, 20. The item is supported by the majority. It will therefore be carried through. Thank you. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Speaker. Item number 3.2, reprioritization of 2022-2023 Water and Sanitation Unit Capital Budget. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mpele, Mr. Manager. Mr. S. It's Councillor S. Memela, Councillor Beasley, Councillor Kuala, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Kavenda, then Councillor Sisoga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In that order, Councillor Memela. Councillor Memela, please raise your hand so that the team will unmute you this side. Is Councillor Beasley ready? Or Memela, now you are okay, you can speak.
Greetings to Amakhosi asendlunkulu and go wonke amakhansela omkhandlu weTheku. We as the EFF support the item. However, we request that all councillors benefit from water tankers equally and are not sidelined on the basis of being PR councillors. We were promised to be included in the issue of water tankers. However, it is not happening, much to the disadvantage of residents. Unless we have to adopt another new resolution, we need to bear in mind that water is a basic need deserved by all. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Memela. Councillor Beasley. Councillor Kuala, if you are ready, you'll come back to please later. Councillor Kuala?
Somlom.
Yes.
with this reprioritization of budget, I don't want to feel like I'm in politics, but in serious. We have the flood. So the CFO and the city manager and the relevant officials from water department may have a very, very serious
No, we can't hear the speaker.
talk or decisions on this water issue.
Babukwala uzwakali kahle. La khona kunomsindo nje
Ake ngikhulume
uphazamisayo.
kwekankosi.
Uyahohoza. Ngcono kungcono ngavula omabili ama-gadget. Is either uvale kaNkosi uvule yakho or uvale yakho
Angibonge
uvule
leso
kaNkosi.
mlomo.
Yebo ya.
With regards to the reprioritization of this water capital budget, we feel something must be done. We must take this serious. Water is life through the Constitution of South Africa. We need to have a very serious plan, because we can't every time we come here, we reprioritize, we transfer funds. I think firstly we must agree that within water department we have a serious problem. As a city, we need to take this very serious, Somlong. And siqinisekise ukuthi kwayona le funding esikhuluma ngayo manje ngokwenzeka kwezinto ayizukuyenza umqondo ophelele. So akumele ke senze izinto engeke zisilast, kumele senze a sustainability plan within water. Isizathu ukuthi amanzi ayimpilo. Okunye kokulandela kulento yakwa water sekukhona ama floods. Isiyakutshela ukuthi the leading party komele isenzele ubele eThekwini. Ikwazi ukuthi
Babukwala ke isikhathi sakho sesiphelile. Councillor Beasley.
Thank you, Speaker. Action SA has been deeply concerned with the impact that the current sewage crisis is having on the health of Epwp residents, employees and visitors. One must also not forget the devastating impact the sewer crisis is having on wildlife and the environment. Speaker, other people are talking over me.
Councillors, call abajabulayo. Call ukuthi bayajabula. Yebo inkinga manje kuzomane kushi ilanga liyoshona i-meeting iphela ungasekho wena. Ujabule ngasiyo ingxenye yomhlangano ngoba lokujabula okwenzeka lapho kuyaphazamisa. Kunekhansela elikhulumayo liyaphazamiseka enomhlangano uyaphazamiseka. Please councillors, conduct yourself in a manner that will display ukuthi respect this council meeting. Apologies, Councillor Beasley, you can proceed.
Can I start again?
No, proceed.
No, but I was rudely interrupted, Speaker.
No. Proceed.
Okay, let me carry on. Furthermore, Action SA has been deeply concerned with the massive blow to the Etiquette tourist industry through beach closures caused by the sewer crisis. Jobs and livelihoods are at stake, and if the crisis is not resolved before the festive period, the consequences on the tourist industry could be extreme and of a long-term nature. The negative impact on the tourist industry will initially harm those businesses and employees in the tourist sector, but will eventually harm all residents as much-needed revenue spent in the municipality will dry up. Ultimately, the poorest of the poor will pay the price for the sewer crisis. For the above reasons, Action SA will support measures to urgently fix the sewer crisis, and as such will be voting in favour of this matter. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Reddy, we have a minute donated by the NFP, HM and PRM. Councillor Reddy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I address myself to you because the rules dictate that I address myself to you. If If I want to speak to the media, I'll issue a media statement or send a letter. If I want to speak to people on Facebook, I will do it through my social media.
You're
But
wasting
here
your
I'm
minutes.
addressing you as a speaker. Mr. Speaker, the ADIC as well as the bloc of smaller parties represented and led by Councillor Mieni, we want to thank the Mayor for heeding our call to treat this issue with the urgency it deserves. We raised this need for reprioritization of funds in the water sector through savings with him, especially to deal specifically with the wastewater treatment works. We've been reading about this in the media, where residents across eThekwini have been complaining about overflowing sewage from manholes and drains. Areas in Overport, Shellcross, Glenwood, and other areas have been hardest hit. People are forced to live with stink. Some have had sewage spilled directly into their homes. You cannot even walk in some areas. More beaches were closed yesterday because raw sewage is flowing directly into rivers and leading into the sea. Waste treatment plants in Durban are in a critical state through poor maintenance and aging infrastructure, which was exacerbated by the recent floods. Mr. Speaker, imagine what Durban would be like without its beaches. We want all red tape to be removed so that these plants may be ready in time before Christmas. Mr. Speaker, the bloc of smaller parties led by Councillor Mieni, we believe that the municipality has been playing hide and seek over reports of shit spilling into rivers through poor conditions of our wastewater treatment
Point
works.
of clarity, Speaker.
Yes.
Councillor Mteto?
Mteto. Yes. No, just for future reference, earlier today you said no councillor is allowed to speak on behalf of another council. And now I keep hearing this block of parties led by Zandile Mieni, Councillor Zandile Mieni, from Councillor Reddy. Is that consistent with your ruling earlier?
No, Mteto, you are combating something that have never happened and something that I've never said. Referring to a leader of a party is not like you are mentioning him in a debate or in an engagement. The two that we are referring to are not the same. Thank you.
So he is allowed to speak on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's get on to serious business. This week, however, the municipality finally accepted that its overflowing sewage treatment works that were responsible for the pollution in our rivers that led to the closure of many beaches. We call on the municipality to begin issuing results of water quality samples on a daily basis. Secondly, we call on the municipality to cut all red tape to ensure that these treatment plants are treated with the urgency it deserves.
Speaker,
Look at this.
Speaker, order, Speaker.
Yes,
His time is up.
The point
His
of
time
order.
is up, Speaker. His time is up already, Speaker.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, the time is
I
expired.
really wish some people
Councillor
would
Kavenda.
listen. Yeah.
Point,
Sorry, Chair. Speaker, on Speaker order.
So I'm still checking with my team here. I'm told that you remain with 2 minutes because there's a donation from other parties. Complete your 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Speaker. For the past 25 days, there's been a steady stream of human waste that has been emptying into the Umgeni River, which is just 4 kilometers from Durban's tourist beaches, and it hasn't stopped. The support for this recommendation is critical by all councillors and all political parties as it impacts directly on human and marine life. As a municipality, we are legally obliged to act decisively to mitigate against the risks posed. The funds that were allocated by the mystery billions by the national government is still a big mystery. We propose, as the bloc of smaller parties led by Zandile Mieni, councillor, that all councillors, including the mayor, join us as we do a demonstration outside the KZN legislature, demanding that the government keeps to its word and gives us the money that they promised. On a far more serious note, ADIC would have called on the MEC to invoke Section 139 of the Constitution if eThekwini did not act as it is doing now. So well done to the mayor. Thank you to this municipality for putting the people first. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Reti. Councillor Kavenda.
Thank you, Speaker. I think all of you know that the DA, as the official opposition in the city, has been leading the charge in council for years now on ailing infrastructure, preventative maintenance, and especially the budget. We've done this via questions, notices of motion, representations in speeches on numerous agenda items. It is now becoming tiresome how certain members harp on our stance on budget items. Nobody runs with that story because we are always very clear about why we adopt certain positions. Now, what we have seen in a lot of these budgets is that while it might be peppered with a few good line items that reflect money going towards much needed projects or expenditure, the fact is it does contain items where you pay for irregular expenditure, wasteful expenditure, bloated overtime, artist gifts, tent hire, hire of venues, employees who claim inhuman hours, and ghost employees. Now, talking about paying employees, it's disingenuous to quote Shwane, didn't Absa Bank accept responsibility for that? Anyway, back to the item. In this item, you ask for us to take millions of rands from infrastructure that is literally hanging by their threads, if not defective already. Now, let me take you through the nuts and bolts of what you're asking us to do here. Against the backdrop currently of the city making headlines nationally for the state of its beaches, the pump stations, the wastewater treatment works, the state of its rivers, and the general urban and informal areas which are overflowing with sewer spills, we are taking money from items that may be justified, items that need it, towards items that may or may not be justified. Now, first up, we have the storm damage sanitation infrastructure item, which sounds good, but it comes with absolutely no motivation as to how the 40 million rand is going to be unpacked, specifically towards what? The Tongat Waterworks. This for me is something of a red flag because are we asking for another 15 million rands on the existing project? Because I am aware that there is currently a second project that will be coming, which was already on the table before the floods. Now, there's no clarity on what remediation is required that is not covered by the original tender for the works that's currently in progress. Then we're asking for monies to be reprioritized towards IP phones and computer equipment. For who? More importantly, let's look at which projects are being dipped into. That raises serious concerns for those who didn't quite grasp it and might be sitting with a block. The consequences of this. Quadabeka sewer reticulation. That's sewer. Northern Wastewater Hydraulics, that's sewer. Darson Hook Wastewater, that's sewer. Kwamashu Wastewater, that's sewer. Then we're taking from Grange, St. Thomas, and Umlazi reservoirs. We've got reservoir protection in lieu of the city experiencing the highest rate of vandalism that we've ever seen. We are taking money away from reservoir protection. SCADA upgrade, which tells us when our reservoirs are failing. And then one of the last ones there is MV switchgear. Just a few days ago, on the 21st of September, the electricity unit published a memo with particular mention of failing switchgear. Now, I wonder what the contingency plan is going to be for us moving 9 million rand away from the infrastructure that is currently crying for it. Please tell us also what happens to all these wastewater.
There's a point of order.
Please tell us also what happens
hearing this narrative. And I think we have to clarify this in case it's being misinterpreted and these people are being made to, the story is being made to believe. I spoke to the head of water yesterday on this.
Councillor Reti, what's your point of order? Councillor Reti, no. Councillor Reti, please raise a point of order. Don't address council. What's the point of order?
The point of order, Mr. Speaker, is that this council is being misled by Councillor Govender. She's misleading this council and using this council meeting as a platform to campaign politically. This is not the place to do it, my dear. Go and have your own meeting somewhere. Don't use ratepayers' money.
Councillor Reti, please mind your language. Please mind your language. Let's allow Councillor Kavenda to conclude his point. I don't think that Councillor Reddy, what we are raising, I'm going to accept it as a point of order. Therefore, your point of order is overruled. Councillor Kavenda, please conclude your point.
Speaker, please ask Councillor Reddy to withdraw the term "my dear." I'm not his dear.
Yeah.
I withdraw that, my dear. I withdraw, my dear, using the words "my dear." Okay, my dear. I withdraw, my dear.
Yeah, councillors, let's not waste time, council. Thank you, Councillor Kavenda. Please conclude your point.
Thank you, Speaker. In wrapping up, I was saying that on the 21st of September, the electricity unit published a memo with particular reference to the switchgear. And I was saying, please tell us what happens to all these wastewater and sewer projects that are listed above that we are moving money away. All of the previous speakers have alluded to us being on the brink of the festive period. Schools close tomorrow. Dozens of beaches are closed. It's simply unfathomable what the strategic objectives are to rescue the city that everybody is saying is drowning in sewage and reeling from load shedding woes, while we are rearranging deck chairs. And we certainly can't sacrifice proverbial babies here either. So sorry, Speaker, the DA will abstain on this item. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Kavenda. Siswaga, Councillor Siswaga.
Yebo, Speaker, ngiyabonga. Speaker, mhlambe ake ngiqale ngokuthi even izangoma nama clairvoyants could not have foresaw ama floods asehlela ngo-April. Kodwa ke silalile saphaphama sesinalama floods. Ngale ukulahleka kwemphefumulo kwababuhlungu kakhulu, kwalimala kakhulu ingqalazinda yethu. Uma ubuka ukuthi kusukela ku-April kuze kube manje, ngicabanga ukuthi even abakhulume ngaphambi kwami bakubalulile inkinga esishiyelwe ilama floods, and sonke by now we are very much aware and privy to the damage and the effects that was caused by ama floods ango-April. But we are not going to lament and keep pointing out the obvious. What we need to do now is to try and come up with our solutions. And now coming up with our solutions to the problem that we did not envisage, meaning we did not plan and we did not budget for such problems. However, be that as it may, we are in a situation now where in this item we are trying to correct the situation that we are faced with. We are therefore saying, as the African National Congress, we do support the reprioritization because we are not going to wait for uhulumeni ongenta usinikeze imali, but what we are doing is in-house prioritization. Amabhishi ke sonke siyakhala ngabo njengoba ngisho amaphamba alimele, kodwa okubalekile ukuthi siyazi ukuthi sisondela kakhulu ku-December, where we'll be having ama-visitors that come to Durban and go December holidays and spend a huge amount of money boost tourism esiza ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi siphinde sakhe sinakekele ingqalazinda yethu. So if sisupporta leli phuzu siyazi ukuthi by end of November we'll be done with fixing ama-pumps, and then abantu bazofika ngo-December bazokwazi uku-injecta imali through tourism. And again, ipayipi leli lakanyuso eliphakela unyuso libaleke kakhulu, lela payipi ukulenza ku-78 million. But ke ayikho imali ekhona ebekwe aside ukulekelela abantu abalapha kakanyuso ababhekene nokuthi amanzi awaphumi kumathephu. But kwasasivumelene ukuthi kancane kancane will reprioritize siyifaka imali sikwazi ukuthi abantu bagcine bethola amanzi. So kubalekile ukuthi sikwenze lokho. And into embi kakhulu ngokulimala kukaMahatma Gandhi emergency lapha ya bridge ukuthi kuthinteka ihaba. Siyazi ukuthi ihaba iyinhliziyo ye-economy yethu la eThekwini, ngoba into mhlawumbe esingayibona ukuthi uma imikhumbi ifika eThekwini abatshuzi abakwazi ukutshuza baye phansi benze sure ukuthi imikhumbi iyakwazi ukufika onqenqemeni. So ukulungisa zonke ke lezi inkinga ke ingakho sithi njengo-African National Congress asiyivume le reprioritization. Ngizwile khona ukhansela okhulumile phambilini ekhala kakhulu ngokuthi engathi u-African National Congress okuyiyona inhlangano enkulu la kumasipala weThekwini ngake ibazwele. Cha, sengithi angisho ukuthi u-African National Congress ubazwelile ngoba ngoJuly ku-introducewe i-levy esibiza ngokuthi infrastructure levy, la esibheke khona ukuthi wonke umhlaba waseThekwini uzokwazi ukuyikhokha. Leyo mali izosetshenziswa ukubhekana nokumaintaina ingqalazinda yethu. So ke sisike African National Congress asikusupporte lokhu reprioritize kwemali ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sidlule esikhatsini la sikhala khona, sidlule esikhatsini la esiloke sikhombana khona ngenjumbane ukuthi ubani wayetheni, ubani wabona kuqala, ubani waqhamuka naliphi iqhinga kuqala. Kodwa ngokubambisana njengomkhandlu waseThekwini samakhansela asikuvumi ukuthi cha imali asifake ukuze sizoyeka ukukhala, kodwa sikwazi ukuthi silungise amapayipi ethu, abantu baseThekwini bakwazi ukuphuza amanzi ahlanzekile, ofish bayeke ukufa olwandle, iy'kebhe ikwazi ukungena kahle, onqenqemeni belethe iy'mpahla eThekwini, ikwazi umnotho ukuthi uqhubekele phambili, abantu baphile isimami economy. Ngiyabonga kakhulu Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Susoga. Councillors, page 16, item 3.2. Is the recommendation agreed? Councillor Kuala, your hand is up.
Agreed. We point of order, Chairperson. BT, Ingole must understand.
Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. City Manager.
The DA is abstaining.
Item number 3.3 on page 18.
Did you hear that?
The review of the Memorandum of Understanding.
There's someone speaking?
That's me, Uchaban Mtetwa with DA. The DA is abstaining.
Oh, I think maybe there's a problem with your volume. DA is abstaining.
Yes, the DA is abstaining.
Okay, thanks. Let's go back to item 3.2, page 16.
You don't have to just abstaining. If others were abstaining or voting on this, they would have indicated that.
I struck to hear you, Bob.
I'm saying the DA abstaining, but there's no need for you to go to the scoreboard because if others were abstaining or voting against, they would have indicated. But the DA, for the record, is abstaining.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's record that, unless maybe the other parties have changed their mind. Thank you very much, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Speaker. We are on item 3.3, review of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Municipality and the UN Habitat Committee recommends.
Item 3.3, Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. City Manager.
Item 3.4, District Development Model 1 Plan Review, Committee recommends.
3.4, Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Siyabonga. Patropa.
Item 3.5, Adoption of Integrated Development Plan, Process Plan for 2023-2024, Financial Year, Committee recommends.
3.5, Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Siyabonga.
3.6, amendment pertaining to the provision of data bundles to councillors as contained in the current government gazette for determination of upper limits of the salaries, allowances and benefits of different members of municipal council committee.
Point of order, says Chumbi. Page 19.
Babu Kuala, we page 19, which item? 3.4.
PTM.
No, Sienzil, it was approved. Sienzil.
Sienzil.
Yeah, Sienzil. On page 21, item 3.6, I've got Councillor Kumete and Councillor Madlala. Councillor Kumete, 3.6, page 21.
Ngiyabonga Somlom. Angithathe lethuba ngibonge, siyabonga ukuthi usicabangele njengobaba wekhaya osigadile ngendlela esisipenda ngayo. Kodwa sibe siyabuka ukuthi ekuthenini kube khona imali ezonyakaziswa kule mali mhlambe esitholayo ku-cellphone allowance yethu. Ekubeni mhlambe abanye bethu already banamanye ama-plans abanawo in terms of ukusebenzisa ukulungisa isimo samadata. As i-IFT sizocela ukuthi singayi-support i-amendment or i-request le eyenziwayo ukuthi kube khona uhlelo lokuthi silungiselwe ukuthi sibanjelwe imali from emalini ye-cellphone allowance, ngoba indlela mhlampe nomuntu angakwazi ukuthi azenzele ngayo yena ukuthi abe nedatha ngendlela ehlukile. Then sekungaba ukuthi lo oyibonayo ukuthi unenkinga mhlampe uyadinga yena ukulekelela ukuthi akwazi ukuthi abe nedatha, mhlampe axhumane ne-ofisi lika-speaker ukuthi limlekelele, kodwa kungabi ukuthi sithatha i-decision ezothi sonke siyaphoqeleka ukuthi mhlampe sibe nale mali ezobanjwa kule mali yethu ye-cellphone allowance ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sithole la madatha.
Siyabonga Councillor Gumede. Councillor Madlala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think this is one of those items where the situation calls for us to search our consciences so that we are first and foremost honest to ourselves and honest to the people that we serve. Most meetings are held on a virtual platform like a meeting today. And for such meetings, you need a very good data plan, without which you'll find that you'll join and halfway through your data is going to be depleted. And the Office of the Speaker and the municipality has a responsibility to ensure that meetings are convened and meetings are successful. Now, ensuring that would mean that sometimes we have to come to council with such item and say, look, we know that individually you can go and buy a data plan, but unfortunately we are on a public platform here. I could be saying other things about what we've observed as sometimes a behavior from one or two among us. And therefore, I think it makes a lot of sense that we allow this item to go through for the Speaker's office to then go and relevant departments to go and hunt around for a comprehensive data plan from the service providers, and on condition that we don't go for the cheapest, because we know that some providers do not have wall-to-wall coverage in terms of our city. There are network providers who struggle in certain areas. The network provider that we were using previously, without promoting them, is one of the best in terms of coverage. I think there's a second one. Going to the third and fourth and going there, I think might put us in trouble, where we find that if Unkosentle is trying to connect and Use Molweni somewhere, it's not going to assist us. So maybe that is a plea that we can put forward to the officials, that when such a plan is considered, such coverage should be one of the considerations. But I do not think there's anyone among us here who can honestly say he's going to take care of this by himself, because it's going to be expensive individually. Two, we're not going to have, we're going to lose out on the economies of scale, because if you are negotiating with the provider and we are saying, I have 222 councillors who are going to need above 20 gig data per month, you stand a better chance of driving the cost down than if an individual goes and negotiates his own price at his own. So I'm pleading with fellow councillors that let's allow this to go through, so that we don't find ourselves in trouble. Some of us not being able to join 3 meetings consecutively, and we are held before the Ethics Committee for failure to see to our duties because our data plans have failed us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Councillors, item 3.6 is
Speaker.
the recommendation agreed.
Speaker, Councillor Mchet.
Yes, Councillor Mthetho.
It's just a point of clarity. I'm not speaking on an item. Now I have a problem because what we were told by officials is that if city manager can confirm that, is that if there's a councillor that wishes to opt out of a contract between your office and a service provider, they can do so. Now, if this now is going to be a blanket approach that binds everybody, it changes everything and it changes our approach as the DA, because we had supported this on proviso that it does not bind people who want to go out and look for their own individual products. If that can be clarified, please, because it changes everything now.
I don't get your point of clarity. Are you seeking a plot of clarity on what is contained in the report or what submission from Councillor Madlala?
When we discussed the report in the executive committee, our question was, are individual councillors who wish to opt out of this contract that exists between your office and a service provider going to be allowed to do so? And the answer was yes. Now I'm hearing something else now to say everybody might be like bound by this contract, which is different to what we were told in the executive committee. I want that clarity from the city manager.
I don't think it would be fair, Councillor Mthetho, to ask clarity from the city manager. Now we are not in the executive committee meeting. We are in council now. The executive have considered the report and make the recommendation to council. It's for council now to make a decision whether to support the report or not to support the report. Hence now I'm subjecting the item to that. Hence I'm asking that, is the recommendation contained in the report councillors agreed?
No.
Right? There are those who are saying no. Let
Agreed.
me have a screen for record purposes. Councillors, let's get those who are in support, those who are against, and those who abstain. Please prepare yourself. Open your mic so that we don't waste time on voting. ANC?
ANC agrees.
DA?
We will come back to you with our position, Chair.
Thank you. EFF?
Against.
EFF against. IFP?
Against. Speaker, against.
Action SA?
Agree.
Thank you. APC?
Agree.
Thank you. ACC?
Abstain.
Thank you. ACTP?
Abstain.
Thank you. AIC? They are not here. DLC? DLC? They've left the meeting. Attack? Attack? APF? ATM?
In support.
Alchama?
Aljama against.
JEP?
EP support.
KZNI?
Against.
I abstain.
MF?
Against.
MOSA?
Against.
NFP?
NFP supports.
PFP? PRM?
PRM in support.
GA?
TA is against.
UIM?
UIM support.
Freedom Front Plus?
Freedom Front Plus support.
Thank you. One vote.
DA.
Or DA? Are you ready, DA? ADEC? ADEC?
the item of the
Colleagues, there's someone who's talking while council is proceeding. That is not acceptable. Please refrain in doing that. ADEC, DA,
Chair, because of this minor confusion, even though it has been a bit clarified, but for now we will abstain on this. Thank you.
DA abstain, ADEC. Thank you very much. Let's add the numbers, colleagues. Thank you very much, councillors. Those who are in support, 93. Those who are against, 40. Those who abstain, 61. Therefore, the item will be carried through with the support of the majority. Thank you very much. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Speaker. The next item is 3.7. It's on page 23. Request for authority to implement the 2022 National Transport Month activities. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much. Item 3.7, page 23. Councillor Kuala, Councillor Shozi, Bab Mayor.
Angibonga Somlo. Sekuyaqala kuyabalwa. Noma ngibanjwe ngaphandle ekuqaleni. Kodwa ngizonqamulela la. Somlomo inyanga siya kuyona i-teams ngampela asiqinisekise ukuthi abantu bethu baphephile. Senze konke okusemandleni. It's a national declaration as a month of transport. Kodwa ke mhlambe nathi ke njengomasipala oyemetro la kunabantu khona abaningi nezigameko eziningi. Kosiza ukuthi ngampela singeyenzi as a record purposes but siqinisekise ngoba izinto eziningi zonakala nje kutheni zingathathwa serious njengoba sichaza. Njengoba ke sikhuluma nje ukuthi ungakhuluma ngo-operation vala ingozi but uma ungawavala ama-pothole then ayenzi sense. Kodwa ke SIFP siyahambisana nalolu hlelo, siyalisupport kakhulu kodwa ludinga ngampela singalwenzi nje for i-record purposes. It must be a program esikho-onayo as a city. Senze sure futhi si-evaluate ukuthi ama-report abuya nento ethi siney'ngozi ey'ncane ezingadalwa ubudedengu mhlambe bokuthi thina njengomkhandlu asikwenzanga ukufanele ngoba sinawo amaphoyisa sinawo wonke ama-resources siyahambisana ke la item. Siyabonga Somlo.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuala. Councillor Shozi. Hlengiwe Shozi.
Ngibonge Somlomo. Ngiyazwakala Somlomo.
Yes, we are audible.
Ngibonge Somlomo. Ngibingelele kuwe kanye nozakwethu bonke emhlanganweni. Siyiqembu le-Democratic Alliance siyazibona izinhlelo zomnyango wezokuthutha njengoba kuyinyanga kaMfumfu eyaziwa ngenyanga yezokuthutha ezweni lonke. Somlomo nakuba sizibona izinhlelo ezihleliwe ezizoba khona kule nyanga kubandakanya nokwethulwa kwehlandla lesibili lohlelo iMoja Cruise. Kusukela ngoMfumfu wonyaka ka-2018 lapho lolu hlelo lwethulwa kokuqala, ziningi izinto ezazibekiwe nezaziyimigomo eyayizolandelwa ukuze lolu hlelo luzohamba kahle luphinde lube yimpumelelo ekuthuthukisweni kwemboni yezokuthutha emkhandlwini weTheku. Izigidi ngezigidi zemali esezisetshenzisiwe kulolu hlelo, kodwa kuncane okubonakalayo nokubalulwayo ngalolu hlelo. Asizitholi izethulo kubasebenzi bomnyango wezokuthutha olucacisa ukuthi lusebenza kanjani. Obani abahlomulayo? Bahlomula ngokulandela imigomo njengoba kwakushiwo noma kuhlomula wonke umuntu osehloleni ngokungabuki ukuthi wenze kahle noma cha. Siyiqembu le-Democratic Alliance, lolu hlelo silubona lungenayo imiphumela, silubona luthatha izigidi zemali yabakhokhi bentela. Somlomo, uma singakaboni izethulo nemiphumela ecacile yalolu hlelo lweMoja Cruise, angeke siyisapothe le item noma inokunye okukhona ngaphakathi, kepha ngenxa yokuthi ziningi izimali eziyigidigidi ezihamba nalolu hlelo lweMoja Cruise esingayiboni imiphumela yalo, njengeqembu le-Democratic Alliance angeke siyisapothe lesi sethulo. Ngiyabonga Somlomo.
Thank you very much, Councillor Shozi. His Worship, the Mayor.
Angibonge Somlomo uphinde ngithole ithuba sikhulume ngalenyanga ezokuthutha inyanga uMfumfu. Inhlelo ke lezi ezilapha siukhongolose siyazeseka ngoba inhlelo ezikhombisa ukuthi sisukumela kakhulu udaba lwezokuthutha kufaka phakathi ezokuthutha ngamatekisi ngamabhasi. Ngakho lomkhandlu waseThekwini uphinde wakexabeza umphakathi walapha eThekwini ngamanye amabhasi amasha sha, ngoba sibheka lento yokuthi ezokuthutha kumele ithembeke, kumele zibe affordable. Ingakho kune subsidy provincial government no national government usinikeza yona, kodwa futhi kumele ziphephe amabhasi engafi endleleni efa nomphakathi. Ngakho ke ngalenyanga sobe siqhakambisa zonke izinto ezithinta ezokuthutha kufaka phakathi nenqala sizinda ukuthi imigwaqo yethu kanjalo nama bridge, they are the veins of economy, iwona imthambo yomnotho wakithi. Ngakho kufanele ke inqala sizinda yethu nayo bese simweni esihle. uMoja Cruise ezinye izinhlelo esibona ukuthi uhlelo nohlelo moluqala liba nobubi lube nobuhle balo. Sibona ukuthi ke bukhona ubuhle beMoja Cruise ngoba buzama ukufaka imboni ekuyiqoqeni ukuthi abashayeli bekwazi ukuthi belandele kahle imigomo, bekwazi futhi ukuthi behloniphe umphakathi. Siyazi ukuthi leyo nto iyiprocess akuyona into engahlomuleka ngesikhathi esifishane kubethiwa sesiqedile ngayo, kodwa futhi lolu hlelo leMoja Cruise kuzosisiza ngoba kunemishini efakiwe lapha ezolekelela ukuthi umuntu mayeba nethikithi, ithikithi lokugibela ebhasini, lokugibela esitimeleni, lokugibela itekisi kube ithikithi elilodwa. So uhlelo ke nje bakufakwa nje abanye kulolu hlelo okwakufakwa ezinye imoto ezimbalwa sekwengezwe ezinye. Lolu hlelo ke lihlose ukuthi abantu bakithi bekwazi ukuthola ezokuthutha eyisezingeni elibafanele. Sizophinde sibe nenkomfa ezobheka nje ezokuthutha zizonke ukuthi kungabe isahamba ngendlela yini, iziphi ingqinamba esibhekene nazo njengomphakathi, esibhekene nazo njengohulumeni namanye ama-stakeholders esisebenza nawo, ukuxhaswa kwabo abasembonini yamatekisi, bexhaswa amabhange amakhulu, bexhaswa futhi nayinkampani eziyimele ukuthi nabo beqhubeke bethuthuke, ngoba okubalulekile ngemboni yamatekisi iyona kuphela imboni esingayiqhenya ngayo sithi le esungulwe abantu abangama-Afrika la eNingizimu Afrika, engakathathwa noma engazange inganyelwe ogombela kwesabo kube khona imonopoli kuyona. Yingakho kubalulekile ukuthi kuwo konke esikwenzayo siyeseke imboni, kodwa namabhasi ngokunjalo adidiyelwe ukungena kwawo nokulawulwa kwawo nokuphathwa kwawo, abemboni yamatekisi bekwazi ukuba neqhaza abalibambayo kwezamabhasi. Yingakho-ke sithi siqhubeka nohlelo lokupromotha ezokuphepha futhi emgwaqweni, i-road safety campaign yethu ezoqinisekisa ukuthi siqwashisa kakhulu abagibeli, siqwashise o-driver, siqwashise labo abasebenzisa imigwaqo ukuthi akubekezelelwane emgwaqweni, ngoba kumele sonke sifike siphephile emakhaya. Sizophinde sibe nomkhuleko, umkhuleko uqondiswe ngqo ekuthenini sikhulekele ukukhula kwemboni yezokuthutha, ukuvikeleka kwabantu baphephe ngaso sonke isikhathi. Sizobe futhi-ke sesibheka ukuthi siqhakambisa kanjani ngenqalasizinda esisiyakile. Uyabona nje uma ubheka eMount Eskom sikhande ibridge elikhulu lapha ngemali kamasipala lapha eConubia, ekufanele kube imisebenzi esiyiqhakambisayo phambi kwabantu ukuthi mkhulu umsebenzi owenziwe. Imigwaqo yethu siyavuma ukuthi ikhona imigwaqo engayikho esimeni esihle, kodwa uma ubheka idolobha lethu laseThekwini imigwaqo eminingi engene ey'ndaweni ey'semakhaya esasanda kuyikhanda siyakha njengomasipala, imigwaqo emihle kakhulu enetiyela ugqinsi. Lokho kusho ukuthi-ke umasipala unakekela iy'mpilo zabantu ukuthi yishintshe zibe ngcono, ngoba uma ulungisa imigwaqo abantwana bafika esikoleni, uma ulungisa imigwaqo abasebenzi bafika ngesikhathi emsebenzini, amabhizinisi ayakwazi ukuqhubeka athuthuke. Kanti-ke inqalasizinda kwayona ngokwayo iyakwazi uku-attract i-investment edolobheni lethu. Yingakho kuney'nkampani ey'nkulu ezinye zithi zifuna ukuza eThekwini, ngoba inqalasizinda yaseThekwini ibukeka isezingeni ekuyilona elikwazi ukuqinisekisa ukuthi umnotho uyakhandeka. Ngalawo mazwi siwukhongolose, siyaqhubeka nokushintsha iy'mpilo zabantu zibe ngcono kuleli dolobha, sibambisene nabo bonke ozakwethu, sibambisene nabo ukuya phambili. Siyabonga Hlaka.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayor. Item 3.5, page 23.
Hello.
Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Hello.
Agreed.
Thank you. Lo kuba nefoni akamute mic.
Angeza kabani?
Olele bandlu babwengane inkosi yami.
Please mute the mic, Councillor.
No.
Njengoba ethi angizwa ukuthi abana kasho mina, uyavota against this.
Babwengane.
Thank you very much, Councillors. The TA is voting against the item. Let's record that. Thank you. We come to an end of our first supplementary agenda. We'll quickly move to our second supplementary agenda. Bob Mayor, please chair the report.
Ngibonge somlomo, ngifisa ukwenza isethulo sombiko wesithathu wesigungu esiphezulu sikamasipala waseThekwini. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Speaker. The third report of the Executive Committee has a direct report. Item 1 is the request for authority to extend the expanded public works program and for authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure for the 2022-2023 incentive grant. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, Councillors. On this item, I'm going to note hands because parties have never had sufficient time to submit the list of speakers. I will note hands as they appear in the screen. Councillor Mohammed, you are the first. Mtetwa, you are number 2. Councillor Kuala, you are number 3. Councillor Kambole, you are number 5. Thank you very much. Councillor Mohammed, you can speak.
Sorry,
good
Honorable
afternoon,
Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Hello?
I was trying to raise my hand. Gadget is failing me. Councillor Kaunda.
Oh, okay, thank you very much, Councillor Kaunda. You'll be number 6.
Good evening, Speaker.
Mohammed.
I put my hand up. Good evening, Speaker. I put my hand up because I couldn't get network on my laptop. I joined from my phone now. So I think by then also you took my 200 already.
Councillor Mohammed.
Yes.
Can you speak?
Can you hear me, Speaker?
Yes.
Yeah, I could not get a reception from my laptop. I had to join in from my phone. So I put my hand up to note that I'm in the meeting.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Councillor Mchacha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm hoping that you can hear me loud and clear.
Much better, Councillor Mchacha.
Thank you. The most used word today, Mr. Speaker, was infrastructure repairs. But let us deal with the issue of Epwp first. Epwp is a program of the National Department of Public Works. They fund this program. We, as the municipality, we are just an implementing agent. Now, the question is this program important? The answer is a big yes. It is important because as the DA, we are aware and we acknowledge the difficulties and the hardships that are faced by some members of the public out there. So we do acknowledge and commend this program for that some of these families solely depend on this program to put food on their family tables. But yet the difficulty is, if for some reason we happen to recruit more than the allocated funds from the Department of Public Works, and we are confident that we did so within the acceptable standards, what we should do is to go back to the owners of the program, which is the Department of Public Works, and say, please give us more money, because we have now, for some reasons, recruited more than you have the funds that you have allocated to us. This municipality, Mr. Speaker, more so now, cannot afford to fund this program any further. If there's any shortfall, it has to be covered by the department itself, because they are the owners of this program. Where should we focus as this municipality? Our focus should be, if there are any savings to be identified, even a cent of those savings, whether it is 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, it should go towards infrastructure repairs. Currently, we have our beaches closed just because we have raw sewage running down the streets, flooding people's homes, going straight into our oceans. And what we can do is to identify savings to attend to that infrastructure, sanitation infrastructure that has all but failed and collapsed. So what we are saying is the DA, we respect the fact that this program exists and it has to be funded. The owners of the program must fund it. Our savings as a municipality, if we can identify even a cent, it has to go to the infrastructure to avoid the crisis that we're facing, the environmental crisis that we're facing, the tourism collapse that we're facing as a result of our failing infrastructure. Therefore, for as long as the recommendation says, this municipality must identify savings to fund this program, even though we like the program, but we are going to vote against it because we believe strongly that any savings that can be identified must go through the infrastructure repairs, especially sanitation infrastructure. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mchacha. Councillor Kwala.
Angibonge Somlomo. Somlomo ke thina la kwaZulu sazi ukuthi uma uphethe abantu awubahlukanisi. mawusubaphethe abantu usungaphezulu sekumele ube transparent. Esikubonayo kwenzeka kuyasexaka-ke kuleka i-PWP. As much as we support i-program, kodwa iyakutshela i-program ukuthi ino-bias esetshenzwa ngabo. Kunendlela esetshenzwa ngayo engekusiyona, engenayo i-transparency, engenayo i-accountability futhi. Esifisayo ukuthi njenge-IFP ukuthi ngelinye ilanga amaqhawe omzabalazo awokhunjulwa, angathi uma engavuka ababaze athi hawu maqabane kaThambo senenza nje kubantu nibahola. Siyabonga kasomlomo soyisupport i-program.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kwala. Councillor Kambule.
Sibonge Speaker. Before nje siqale sifuna ukuthatha leli thuba sihalalisela uCFO esimbonile ethwesa ngeziqu zobudokotela kwiNyuvesi yase-UKZN. So siyamhalalisela kakhulu iCFO as an EFF and an organization that promotes academic excellence. So siyafisa ukuthi sinabanye abakhona la nabo sibabone befunda. Speaker, njengeqembu lezidokotela i-EFF siyalisupport kakhulu lolu hlelo. Kodwa inkinga lapho ifike ibe khona ila ifike ugwala waseyithinta khona ukhansela ugwala ukuthi ibe isisetshenziswa iqembu elibusayo ekutheni libe selinikeza abantu abamavolontiya wayo. Siyafisa ukuthi lolu hlelo uma ngabe seliza seli-implementwa kube khona i-transparency ngendlela eyisimanga. Ngalendlela ukuthi even ngisho abantu abazobe beparticipate or bebenefita kulolu hlelo benziwe babe public ukuze wonke umuntu akwazi ukubabona ukuze sigweme lento evelayo la somlomo ukuthi abantu kuba abantu abaqhamuke eqembini elibusayo kuphela, abantu bakithi ngempela kufana ngabe bayabenefita nama graduates ahlele emakhaya angayitholi imisebenzi sibonakala ukuthi nawo abhekelelele kulolu hlelo. So siyacela kakhulu Speaker ukuthi lolu hlelo uma ngabe seli-implementwa kube khona i-transparent ngendlela ebaluleke kakhulu ekutheni wonke umuntu akwazi ukubona ukuthi cha kancane kancane iqembu leli elibusayo liyashintsha selisebenzela umphakathi ngempela. Siyabonga Speaker.
Thank you, His Worship, Mayor.
Ngibonge somlomo ngenxa ukuthi ngumholi ovumayo ukuholwa kunomholi wami ozongena lapha ngicabanga uzongimela kahle umholi wami ubaba uMadlala. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, yes. I wanted to know the second set of hands. There is Councillor Ubega. Then Councillor Ubega. Then after Councillor Ubega is Councillor Madlala. Then we close. We won't check the third set of hands, councillors. Councillor Ubega and Madlala.
Thank you so much, Speaker. And in moment, Speaker, ukuthi some of my colleagues, the councillors from EFF and IFP, bakhulume kakhulu about transparency and accountability. And futhi, the most important one, Speaker, ile yokuthi kungahlomuli kuphela abantu abaqhamuka kwi-organization ethile, but kube wonke umuntu umphakathi ohlomulayo kule program. Ngaloko ke Speaker ngeke sisimele program ukuthi ingaphumeleli ngoba izosiza abantu. I-Action SA will support this program. Ngiyabonga Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. You are the last one.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we want to thank all the parties that have commented on this item, from those who oppose the item to those who are agreeing with the item. We think your opinions are important and we take them seriously. Let's remind ourselves, Honorable Speaker, that of course this is a national government program. It is a product of the Growth and Development Summit, which started in 2003. Part of the objectives of the summit was to look at the dire situation that our people were in terms of the growing numbers of unemployment, poverty, and inequality, which is as a result of the legacy of apartheid, which excluded the majority of our people from all faculties of life in our country. From education to skills acquisition to employment to economic growth and all of that. Now, the summit then came up with this program, which was meant to fight poverty and to provide income relief to communities. But it was then decided that this program must not be just a giveaway of sort where we're just giving money for free. Communities must be engaged, people must be found who are going to perform what is relatively known as socially useful activities. And this program, we are discussing it today in this municipality, is like that. So sometimes when we want to talk about the challenges in a program, we forget about the usefulness of the program. So I think we'll be on the same page on that. Secondly, Speaker, is that the program was then meant to provide work experience to those people who are fresh from a school, who lacks experience, those who've been looking for work for too long, and all of that. Provide work experience, provide a networking opportunity, because if you wake up and go to work, then you are among other people and you can get networking opportunities to find other jobs and maybe to hone your skills and end up forming a business out of it. Provide opportunity to learn new skills and gain certification out of those skills. Now, as a municipality, I think we have a responsibility as this council to go back and see if these pillars are being adhered to in this program. We want to ground our input on the fact that there's high levels of unemployment in our country and in our city. And as a result, our city has a suite of programs that it provides to communities as a relief, one of which is your soup kitchens. I can assure you, Honorable Speaker, that if today we decide that out of political expedience, we want to be seen to be compliant and we cut the number of Epwp employees by half, tomorrow we'll be having new problems where our townships and parts of our city will be even worse than they are now in terms of cleanliness, because you'll find that the people that we are talking about are cleaning these areas. Secondly, our already strained social relief programs like your soup kitchens will have longer queues because these people will have no income and therefore they'll become our problem. Now, we must not remove a challenge in front of us by putting it to next week, where we'll find it at a more formidable scale than it was. Because right now we are paying money to a person who works, who performs a socially useful activity. Tomorrow, if you retrench him, you are then going to pay money for him to go and eat in the soup kitchen, and he'll be providing no service to the city at that point, and you are obligated to assist that person. Lastly, we take seriously the comment by some members of other parties that we must all work together to try and defectionalize and depoliticize public service, so that when people are employed by the council, they must understand that they are there to serve the people of the city, not political parties, so that we don't have this problem. No matter which political party is in charge in that particular moment. As the ANC, we support this program and this report, and we thank all the parties for their comment. They are taken on board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
No.
Agreed.
Let me get the screen. There are those who are saying no, quickly.
Agreed.
Let's get an indication, councillors. This is our last item before we move to deal with the ethics report and other reports. ANC?
ANC supports.
DA?
Absolutely no, Chair.
EFF? EFF.
Siyasupporta Speaker.
Thank you. IFP.
Siyasupporta Speaker.
Siyabonga. Action SA.
Support.
APC.
ABC not support.
ACC.
Agree.
ACTP.
Don't support.
AIC. Abeko. DLC. Araboy. ADEC.
DLC supports.
Or DLC is back. DLC support. ADEC. ADEC. APF.
Support, APF support.
APF support. HM. HM.
absolutely supports. Absolutely supports.
Aljama.
Aljama support, Speaker.
JEP. JEP. KZNI.
Support.
MF. MF. Musa.
Support.
NFP.
NFP support, Speaker.
PFP. PFP. PRM.
PFP support.
Thank you. PRM. PRM. TA.
PRM Speaker in support.
TA.
TA in support, Mr. Speaker.
UIM.
Ungsolile speak PRM.
Yeah, PRM sitholile yeah. UIM.
UIM support.
Freedom Front Plus.
Against.
Against, thank you. Bonunga vote. JEP and MF. Last chance, JEP. MF. Voting is closed. We are now adding the numbers. Thank you. Thank you very much, councillors. Those who are in support of the item, 131. Those who are against, 61. Those who abstain, none, which is 0. Therefore, the item will be carried through with the support of the majority. Thank you very much, councillors. We were just concluding the second supplementary agenda. We now go back to our agenda in the main council agenda, which is a report from MPEC. Do we have a report from MPEC Chair? Do we have a report, Chair? Report from MPEC.
Councillor Thomas' hand was up.
Yeah, yes, the team is trying to unmute him this side. Yes, Councillor Xomo can address Council. Chair of MPEC.
Yes, Speaker. Yes, Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greeting to councillors, mayor, officials that are present in this meeting. Ngokukhethekile ngibingelele kumakhosi asendlunkulu. Speaker, let me take this opportunity given by this council and present to this council on behalf of the MPEP committee its report of the month of September, that of which its content deals with unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. Thank you very much, Speaker. The report is tabled in front of the council.
Yeah, thank you very much. Councillors, the report is in the supplementary agenda. I think it's page. Yeah, there's no pages. There are no pages, but at the end of the, yeah, after page 26. Yeah, after page 26. That is the report of the MPEC.
No sound.
Councillors, are the recommendation in the MPEC report noted?
I've got my hand up, Speaker.
There's a hand. Who's that?
Councillor Beetge.
Yes, Councillor Beetge can speak.
Good afternoon, Speaker. Thank you very much. Yes, the impact report that in front of us, Speaker, is indicative of the same type of report that came to this council last month, which, as the chairperson says, handles with all the irregular expenditure. And one would just again draw this council's attention to the fact that IMPAC is slogging through this, and all of the reason being is the fact that the officials are not heeding the regulations of the MFMA. And until such time, Speaker, as this council is taking firm action and decisive action against these officials to send a stern message out, this will continue. And we beg again from this day, Speaker, as I depart from this committee, and possibly the only last time that I'll be replying to this, to say, please, we beg of this council, if we've got the interest of this council at heart, as many people have been grandstanding today, and everybody says it's service delivery and we're here for the council and it's in the best interest. Talk is so cheap. At some stage, this council will have to give its full weight behind impact so that those people who continuously transgressed are actually taken to book and that we get rid of them as a message to the rest to stop it. And in closing, Speaker, I just want to say thank you very much. It was a pleasure serving on this committee. I will be tendering my resignation from this committee to your office tomorrow. I know quite a few of the chairpersons of other committees have indicated that they want me there, but
thank you, Councillor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, councillors. If you look at the report, on page, I think it's page 2 of the report, on the recommendation, 1.1 it need approval. 1.2 is for noting. I will therefore, councillors, request that we deal with those two recommendations in that manner. Councillors, are the recommendation contained in 1.1 agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. Recommendation contained in 1.2 noted?
Noted.
Thank you very much, councillors. We'll now move and receive a report from the ethics. To have a report from ethics. I'm told the report has been circulated yesterday. May I request the chair of ethics to table the two reports, the first report and the second report. Chair of ethics. Ethics. Yes, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the municipal leadership and all councillors in the meeting. My apologies for taking long, Speaker. I've been trying to raise my hand, but I was not being recognized. Thank you. I will table the first report of the Ethics Committee to Council. I've got two reports. One is for adoption by Council, and the other one will be for noting. The first one, Honorable Speaker, is in relation, it is in relation to an alleged misconduct that was laid against Ward Councillor Tim Kize of Ward 25. So I will request that because
Point of order, Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Mtetwa.
No, I'm just checking here. Are the individuals implicated in this report not part of the meeting? Because we didn't hear any declaration of interest, unfortunately.
Are you asking the individuals contained in the report are not part of the meeting?
That's correct, because one would have expected them to declare that there's an item that has got to do with them.
No, we never received any declaration, Councillor Mtetwa, as you were part of the meeting when we were requesting councillors to declare interest at the beginning of the meeting. Councillor Sbia, proceed.
Thank you
Well,
so much, Speaker. I was going to request Speaker. I don't know. I'm hearing a sound in background. I thought I was given an opportunity to speak by you, Speaker. I was going to request Babu Speaker that Councillor Mkize recuse himself from the meeting on this item.
Okay. Let's request Councillor Mkize to recuse himself from this item. I'm sure the Secretariat will check whether Mkize has recused himself before we proceed.
Okay, we'll wait on the Secretariat, Babu Speaker. Thank you.
Councillors, the first report is for approval and the second report is for noting. Can I get the indication? We can proceed.
Can we proceed, Babu Speaker? That's what you're saying.
No. I'm checking my team this side about the. Yes, so Councillor Mkize has recused himself. You wanted to say something before we decide, Councillor Spear?
Yes, but okay. I was just about to read the background to council, and also share with the council the decision that was taken by the committee. But yeah, it's okay if councillors are fine with going through the report. But I just thought if we can just pick up the background and then share with them what the decision of the committee was, then yeah, they can take a decision to adopt the report. But if councillors prefer that they read on their own, then we can just wait for councillors.
Sorry, I can allow you, Chair, to summarize and be briefly.
Thank you so much, Babu Speaker. I'll quickly go to item number 2 on the report, which is a background on it. On 2022, July 12, the Ethics Committee received a report from the Speaker's office, which dated 2022-07-11, relative to the alleged misconduct by Ward Councillor T. Mkhize from the Clare Estate Ratepayers Association. Concerns raised pertained to Councillor Mkhize's conduct on the usage of vulgar language, which was found to be not acceptable in addressing a community member during the recent floods, which took place in April 2022. The said matter received public attention, after which was thereafter reported on the different media platforms. It came to the committee as well from the Speaker's office, and the committee set and considered many factors in relation to the case or the matter that was reported in relation to Councillor Mkhize. And then the committee is recommending that the report of the Ethics Committee relative to the alleged misconduct by Ward Councillor Tim Mkhize of Ward 25 for having used an inappropriate, vulgar and or language to a WhatsApp message sent to him by a Ward 25 resident who was seeking his assistance in Springtown during the floods in Durban, April 2022, be adopted and a copy thereof be submitted to the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs for information. But we wish also to inform Council that in 4.7.2 of our committee recommendations, it states that in terms of the Local Government Municipal Structures Amended Act 3 of 2020, Schedule 7, Section 2A and B, Councillor Mkhize be issued with a fine of 1,500 rands for having breached the provision of the Code of Conduct for councillors. Thank you, Speaker. That is the end of report number 1 that we wish to table to Council for adoption.
Thank you very much, Councillor Spear. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. The second report of ethics. Summary, Councillor Spear.
Thank you so much, Babu Speaker. Our second report, it's in relation to Councillors' Code of Conduct awareness. It is basically a roadmap that we've agreed upon or adopted in committee, that we have a program where we'll have our legal to go and visit various portfolio committees to do presentations on particularly the code of conduct for councillors, because we feel that sometimes councillors find themselves on the wrong side of the law, or rather breach some of the councillors' code of conduct because they are not aware. So that's basically what we're requesting to do, and we have scheduled that we had scheduled that we will do those presentations in portfolio committees from August to the end of October. Now that we did not do it in August and September, it's already the end of September. We're requesting that portfolio committees expect us to be coming to portfolio committees for the month of October, so that we get to empower councillors on the code of conduct that is expected of them. Thank you so much. That one is for noting. It was the end of report 2 from Ethics Committee, Babu Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Spear, Chair of Ethics. Councillors, is the recommendation noted?
Yes, noted.
Yeah, thank you very much. will now move to we have two notice of motions in our main agenda that on page 19, page 59. Yeah, there's a motion from Councillor Mieni, page 59. Councillors, is the
So support onke somlo onke.
yes? Thank you. I made a mistake. I thought my team they were saying Councillor Mieni. This is Councillor Chen Ling. The motion is in page 59 in our main agenda. Councillors, is the motion supported?
Agreed.
Supported. Agreed, Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. There's no need to debate it if it's supported by the majority. Thank you. The second motion is in page 60. Page 60. Councillor McPherson. Yes, it's from him. Councillors, is the motion supported?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Supported.
Supported.
Thank you.
But Speaker, I wanted to speak on it.
You want to speak on the...
While I support it, I will speak on it a little.
No, you're not on the speaker's list.
I am on the speaker's list.
Councillor Maharaj, you want to speak on where?
On the same motion, even though
No.
I'm supporting it.
No. You can't speak on this because you have never indicated to us in advance.
No,
We
Speaker.
We only
Reminding.
listen, Councillor Maharaj. We only allow a person who have raised or written a motion to speak. Now the motion is being supported by the majority. We can't even allow the person who has sponsored the motion to speak. Therefore, no councillor will speak on the motion. Councillors, thank you very much. Both motions have been supported. Now we'll check with the mayor to have the report. His worship, Mayor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have no reports for today. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager, to have a report.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry, Speaker. There's no report on my side. Thank you.
Councillors, we have decisions for noting from committees. Are all decisions noted, councillors?
Noted.
There are also items for noting. Are all these items noted, councillors?
Noted.
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 Yeah, thank you very much. We have, before we close, there's an in-committee minute that have to be confirmed. To remember earlier when we started our meeting that there were two sets of minutes that we were supposed to do correction, adopt. There was an in-committee meeting. Yeah, thank you. Apologies, councillors. There are a lot of papers in my desk. I was looking for my copy of the in-committee minutes. But before we deal with the in-committee meeting, we have to excuse members of the public, excuse the media, and then the team sitting with me at the City Hall have to be excused before